I'm moving towards this riverside. If you are new to this place, then you can realize how easily it is possible to wipe off all the negativity. But if you are accustomed to visiting various hill stations across the world, then you will also know these kind of bridges cannot be crossed so easily. If you are accompanied by family members and want to enjoy the sightseeing, but at least there is a small stretch of peaceful land located in Haryana, similar to Qutub Minar and the area around Bharohi. There is possible that you can fly drones for few meters, but otherwise, if you are not planning to visit Himachal Pradesh or Jammu and Kashmir from NCR, then it is not possible to find a stretch of land where you may find some peaceful environment. Noises of these concrete mining machines are always there, which you can't avoid in any circumstances because they will justify the urban development and the construction materials shortages, and obviously the vicious cycle of rented accommodations which is going on across India, where more and more people are selling their own land in temptation of earning rented income through black money. The wireless mic which was sent through Microsoft was not working due to the USB of my Realme 8, but when I sensed the contacts inside those circuit boards through movements of these male adopters, then I succeeded to successfully and efficiently signal again through these kind of broadcasting. But as I was assuming from past 2 days that I should post something about the movement of blood money, but I don't think how these kind of energies and ionic particles which are charged in the atmosphere came to know about my plans, and then I found some currency notes lying ideally on a nearby park grassland. Instantly I decided to inform the gardeners to pick and spend some part of it in growing more trees, and then later on they can drink tea also. Throughout my life I have never accepted any kind of black money or any kind of ornaments, jewelries, or expensive items which are not worth description of earned through blood money. But as usual, I decided to avoid that also. These kind of experiments, which were performed in India from about 35 years through different kind of cults and other kind of female preachers also. From my birthplace and I used to avoid them all throughout my life because I was already aware that I had taken rebirth from any prosperous empire only. Of course, that was part of a genetic tree also, which I came to know through godly powers only. Otherwise, it is possible to manipulate any kind of storylines or historical facts through surnames and first names. But even if I accepted some loan from relatives, I was not really interested in spending to develop my growing factory during those times. But even then, when I thought that I have to purchase those machineries in 2.5 months or 4 months or 6 months, then there is no harm if anyone is trying to help and facilitate our growth. But of course, we were not really in need of those during those time. But when we returned that during that time, we decided to start the production and grow our company also. But that kind of regard was not treated as any arrogance on their part, but obviously many people might have witnessed that also, because the last four digits of the landline number of that person who tried to help, but even when we are not desperate at all, were superimposed with the EMI of Devu Metis, that was 9927, and you can check that through MTNL also, because by now it might have been disconnected from past 29 years, means 24 or 25 years or so. But even then, Indians are very manipulative at all, and I am very cautious in that way. Even now, I am facing a lot of parallelism through first names and surnames. Of course, that is related to blood money only, and they will keep on experimenting. But I was not bothered at all, because from the day Human Rights Commission, Mrs. Maria Andrew Ikosu responded to my 4 or 5 mails that your case has been accepted by Human Rights Commission, provided your domestic remedies are or were expired. And obviously I was confused, but in few days I thought that Human Rights Commission, FBI, is connected with me, and they might have interacted with others also, because in the end of the mail it was written that your name will be kept anonymous, and that was the rule of 210/5, that appeal, whatever, that was accepted in 2007 itself. And all the timeline harassment faced by me from 1998 to 2005 was explained clearly, and all of the corrupt Indians who harassed me was also mentioned. Due to these facts, I was never hesitant to expose my bank balances to my dear ones, but now also I don't have any fear of these kind of cruel and corrupt Indians belonging to mosque demolition group and church vandalizing group also, and they should be ashamed of themselves, and they should be fearful also. But even then, they kept on sending notices to our present house also, when all our taxes were paid by the construction company owner, and I designed a web page through Yahoo portal by accepting 500 rupees as domain charges during those times, or 2008 itself, when I was also forced to invest some money through that. I was not interested to sell my properties at throwaway prices, or accept 50% of the revenue in white money. That is Sundar Vihar. Two of the properties were sold in Sundar Vihar. One of them was sold in Mayapuri industrial area when it was bought at the cost of 46 lakh during November to February 1997, 98. Even then, they had offered me 2 lakh profits in 1 month. Then I kept on strolling on the top floor of A26 phase 2 Mayapuri industrial area. And of course, I decided in about half an hour that I will not return that property in advance money, that was 4 lakh, but I kept on providing them more and more money. In short, they were ready to give me 6 lakh when I had invested or given advance money of 4 lakh in about 15 or 20 days. And I completed the transactions in about 1.5 or 2.5 months. I am not able to recapture it correctly, but I am still remembering the name of the dealers who were involved in those transactions. So, in about 4 years, I earned magnificently through my immense efforts, and I kept on growing. And my turnover was also improving a lot till the day when I had closed or the harassment started. I was spending about 2.5 lakh or 1.5 lakh on raw materials only. But all of the discharge effluent were clearly mentioned, and the same amount was being discharged through effluent treatment plant, and air ambient report was also provided to me. Sound pollution report was also provided to me, but Delhi pollution control committee kept on harassing us and demanding money by inviting me at McDonald's. At the brink of their shameless nature, they tried to interact with me indirectly through a mediator that if you will provide or accept feeling or complaint against your own relatives and friends, then they will also provide some relief to the surveys or number of surveys in the factories for the sludge which they wanted to check oftenly during those times. But even now, when 22 or 23 years have been elapsed, or 20, even then, no one check these kind of sludge and the air filters present in industries, whether the outlet of those discharged are really working or not, and of course, in short, the environment friendly effluents or the main discharge outlet is never checked by these kind of flesh Indians belonging to Moscow demolition group and church vandalizing group through first name and surname superimpositions. Even in other parts of the country, no one checks the functionality of effluent treatment plant, and most of the times they are arrested and not even present. Also, they can achieve these kind of certificates by providing fake pictures of other industries who manage to get orange category or green category during 2000 to 2009 or 8. I'm not aware correctly, but taking into consideration the AQI of Delhi and NCR region and the foam or polluted Yamuna surface and river waters, you can imagine how much dreaded situation. But of course, they might be very aware and cautious. All of the sinful people are more cautious and aware. I am moving freely because I know God is always supportive with me. I may not looking beneath my payments and taking so much consideration of the place where I am, but they might be very much afraid of their debts and, of course, arrest also. That is the only difference of lifestyle. Otherwise, how can you nab each and every culprit in the whole world when you are already aware that there are millions and thousands and lakhs of corrupt people? Most of them are in India only. That's why the rank of in terms of corruption is increasing day by day. The motive of my broadcast is always towards the sightseeing only. Most of the time I spend 10 or 15 minutes, and that is a kind of formality only. I am not really bothered about the content Most of the time cycling activities are also simultaneously witnessed by all of you, and I'm already aware that even 1% of my subscribers are not aware or so much concerned who will watch the broadcast till the end. So I will add some more clips when I visited Chandigarh and surrounding area in the end of this video, and add that for my own memories. Thanks a lot for watching. You have seen my bicycle has been parked here, but in the end I am still warning all of these culprits who are taking or considering a spying eye on me through these kind of posts or videos, because I am an extremely dangerous ruler of the world, which I have already explained to you several times in different broadcasting or live events in Vaishno Mata temples also.